Things are heating up big time in America, and those who are getting drunk off the wine cannot see the Trojan horse that is coming in the next 12 months. My name is Coach JB. What I work to do is make the complex simple. I take very complex strategies and I break them down into simplistic form. And as everybody looks this way, the last couple years I've been looking this way and have radically transformed my family's life and over 6,000 warriors worldwide. We're getting hundreds of messages around the Index Universal Life. So, number one, I'm a licensed insurance agent. I have an Index Universal Life team. I teach people the infinity banking concept inside of our Warrior Academy. Number two, I am looking for agents who want to get licensed and get out of the just over broke system by educating people in this new revolutionary way. Well, not revolutionary way. Insurance has been a secret of the wealthy for a very long time, a different way to look at banking. So in the description of this video down below, you can join our Warrior Academy, learn our 5 pillars of wealth in my revolutionary 120-day challenge. You can also learn and sit down with one of my people around Index Universal Life. All right, so let's dive right into it. So one of the biggest things is that I want to keep people focused on is the massive amount of distractions going to happen. We're drunk off the wine in the Coliseum. There's a massive economic shift happening right now, and the distractions are getting worse and worse and worse. And here's the truth. 99% of people are going to stay in the exact same position because of the distractions that are happening, especially with social media. For example, this weekend, there was all these things going around on Twitter that Gary Gensler was resigning, right? All FUD. Everybody's posting without researching, reacting without researching. They got us drunk in the Coliseum. Facts, figures, numbers, logic. Here's the good news about it. The crazier it gets with the distractions, the wealthier you can get. And I'm not talking about money. When you understand that it's from within that creates the without, and you understand that when everybody's panicking, that's your time to build wealth. And when everybody's celebrating, that's your time to get out. You will be one of the wealthiest people in the world. Those who have ears to hear and those who have eyes to see will understand what I just said. So the first thing that we're going to watch is the Supreme Court throws out Biden's debt relief plan. Now, why am I bringing this up? You're going to start to see a lot of chaos going back and forth in the next 12 months as we head into the 2024 presidential election, okay? You're going to see a pullback in the capital markets. Many of you are stacked in your 401k, which is attached. You need to understand what a 401k is. It's a tax code. It was created in 1978 when companies realized, holy shit, we're not going to give pensions to people. We're in a deflating dollar. So if we pay people for the rest of their life after they retire, we're screwed. Let's put them in a 401k and let's put it into the stock markets, which funds our companies. And guess what? If it comes collapsing down, we're not responsible for it. So they're taking your hard-earned money, put it in the capital markets, you put it into a bank, they leverage your money and do bank-owned life insurance, and they take your money and make it 100 times over. As you sit there and get a measly 0.25, 0.1%, the game is never going to change, guys. All that's happening is velocity of money is changing dramatically. So get the wine out of your hand, get out of the Coliseum, step back, focus on yourself, pull the log out of your eye, and stop pulling the straw out of another's. So the first thing I'm going to show you is the Supreme Court shut it down. They shut down Biden's student loan relief to take effect. And then Biden responded with a fact sheet. And then throughout the weekend, we heard all these rumors that Gary Gensler was retiring. Everybody's getting drunk off the wine. And the thing is, guys, these are all distractions that you're facing. This is to fudge you in, fudge you out. The wealthiest people in the world, they hold the line in fundamental intrinsic value investments. When it goes up, we sell you our investments. When it goes down, we buy the fear. Very simple strategies, okay? So pay attention to this first video, and I'm going to break down all the FUD happening this weekend.
The Supreme Court has thrown out Biden's student loan relief plan. The Supreme Court says Biden has exceeded his authority on the student loans. So let's just get some clarity here, because this is quite confusing. Basically, the Supreme Court has thrown out Biden's student loan relief plan. I think that is the headline that we can now take away from all of this. Anne-Marie, just walk us through this, because this was complicated and delivered in a 1-2 step. So Anne-Marie Hordern joining us from Washington. Just take us through the implications of this. The last headline that I'm seeing makes it clear that the Supreme Court has thrown out the president's student loan relief plan. I'm interpreting that correctly.
Yes, you are. So, what really the big takeaway here is that, and I'm looking at the SCOTUS blog as well, the court agrees with the states that the HEROES Act, which is the basis of what the Biden administration is deciding to expand and use this, what many are calling is going to be a huge debt relief of nearly $500 billion, $400 billion. They say that the HEROES Act from 2003 does not authorize the debt forgiveness plan. So what they're saying is that the federal government, the Biden administration, or the executive branch does not have the authority to use the HEROES Act to go forward with this student loan forgiveness. Reading up a little bit more on this, what we see is this is done on an ideological standing. The vote is 6-3. Guy and Shanali, this is very much what was expected regarding the authority of whether or not the Biden administration had this. And I say that because in February, when there was these oral arguments about it, what we heard from Chief Justice Roberts is he kept coming back to this idea, this questions doctrine, the major questions doctrine, meaning if there is something so significant to happen in the United States politically or economically, then there needs to be in Congress, it needs to be an expressed, exact authority given to the executive branch to do so. And it does look like that is something that those oral arguments in February is.
Okay, so doesn't this sound familiar to the SEC overstepping their bounds, right? So this is Biden, and the reason why I bring this up, is you're going to start to see a massive separation from the left to the right, different genders, different race classes. It's all by design to keep you distracted. The more you can stay distracted and the more you focus on your differences, the more they can radically change the system. So this came out on June 30th, 2023. The fact sheet, President Biden announces new actions to provide debt relief and support for student loan borrowers. So you can dive in this, okay? So this is really interesting. So this came out in 2022. We know that the Republicans probe SEC Chair Gary Gensler over potential violations of the federal transparency laws. SEC Gary Gensler is accused of failing to comply with record-keeping laws by GOP lawmakers. And then over the weekend, this was flying around Twitter. Everybody was saying that SEC sources confirm and everybody's an expert and everybody has the insight. Family, be careful with discernment when you're listening to these TikTokers and YouTubers, to include myself. I always say, don't trust a word I say, press the feeling and vibration. It actually creates in your body and act accordingly, right? We're all taking information from the internet. We're all reacting based on information on the internet. But this came out from, I think it was this crypto alert. It went everywhere, guys. SEC source, I'm not calling them out. It just went everywhere. It went viral. SEC source confirms Gary Gensler's resignation. And a stunning revelation, an anonymous official from the Securities and Exchange Commission has reportedly disclosed that Gary Gensler, the chairman of the SEC, has submitted his resignation following an internal investigation. This went completely viral on social media. And then Charles Gasparino, breaking as expected, SEC governor PR says Gary Gensler is not resigning. Guys, everybody's looking this way and looking this way. Stay calm. Don't trip. Diamond hand. Hold the line. Have an exit plan. I'm trying to keep people at that 30,000 foot overview and see what's actually happening is a radical transformation. You need a shock to the system to change consumer behaviors. Problem, reaction, solution. First, they resist it. Then they sue it. Then they regulate it, then they join it. We're in regulation and joining phase. So former SEC officials defend Chair Gensler, urges crypto community to quiet personal attacks, focus on facts. So this is a person from the former U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission, head of the internal internet enforcement, has defended SEC Gary Gensler's approach to regulating crypto industry. It's time to attack the facts and law on SEC's position and quit the personal attacks on the SEC chair or SEC staff. He stressed it's an anemic and flawed pivot that does not work in a courtroom and is transparent Bush League attempt to rally the mob. The only thing I agree with on this is, guys, our voice doesn't matter in this. We could battle all day. Politics and money and power go hand in hand. Whoever has the money controls the politics. This gentleman met with the FTX, guys, before it collapsed. Think about that. He's going after Coinbase. He's going after Binance. But I truly believe that there's all a systematic switch behind the scenes that is just working to slow down the system. I think it's all planned out. I truly believe that. So SEC's feedback on Bitcoin, I think this is all planned out here. In my opinion, SEC's feedback on Bitcoin spot ETFs is more speed bumps than a stop sign. I truly believe that basically Securities Exchange Commission is purposely slowing this down because Michael Saylor, they're all buying the dip. Vanguard, BlackRock increasing their position in MicroStrategies. Okay. And if you take a look at this stuff, guys, this is 2022. Circle begins putting its reserves into BlackRock Fund. The asset manager backing Circle's Internet Financial USDC will finish moving its SEC regulated money market fund earlier this year. So Circle is heavily connected to BlackRock. Circle was a big proponent at the World Economic Forum. Larry Fink is on the board of trustees for the World Economic Forum to move their mission forward. We know this. I've brought this up many times. What you repeatedly do gets ingrained in your subconscious mind. What gets ingrained in your subconscious mind becomes an unconscious activity. We know that Coinbase selected BlackRock to provide Aladdin clients access to crypto trading. You really think, guys, BlackRock being tapped by the Federal Reserve twice to balance out our markets is really going to work with Coinbase if Coinbase is going to get taken down? Like, do you really think that? Do you think that Circle is going to be working with BlackRock that's connected to Coinbase and they're connected to the World Economic Forum? Do you really think like using our logical circuit and getting ourselves out of the Coliseum? I don't think so, guys. BlackRock files for spot Bitcoin ETF with Coinbase as a crypto custodian. It's all interconnected, guys. It's all deeply connected. Coinbase offers $3.3 billion backstop to Circle in bid to stabilize USDC. So Coinbase is helping out Circle. Circle is connected to BlackRock. BlackRock is using Coinbase. Coinbase was tapped twice to balance out the American markets. Chair SEC Gary Gensler was head of the CFTC. Now he's the head of the SEC. He was the head professor at MIT. Bill Hinman was part of the SEC, consulting for cryptocurrency fund, $2.2 billion. Jay Clayton initiated the case against Ripple. Left, if you pull up, just go chat GPT, pull out Jay Clayton and pull out all the boards he's on. He's on every single board that has, well, that's a lie. Most boards that have to do with our financial system. He also sits on the board for the bank bailing committees. That's why I don't get fudded in and fudded out, family. I'm super calm through all these market cycles. I'm ready for this to dip on the back end of the year. They're going to continue to raise interest rates, family. Your money is going to become more and more devalued. Everybody's like, well, what do I do with my money in the bank? I have large amounts. Secure it somewhere. What do you think the wealthy are doing? Why do you think Bank of America has so much life insurance? Look it up. Look at the Rockefellers, how they built their wealth through insurance. They secure it. They guarantee their principal. They borrow against it for their family office. Look at the Vanderbilts versus the Rockefellers. The Vanderbilts' wealth ran out in 7 years because they were in the traditional system. And the Rockefellers have generational wealth because they insured, leveraged, and multiplied by using insurance products. Okay. You need to have a horizontal strategy. You're not going to get wealthy off cryptocurrency. You're going to gain a large amount of money in a short amount of time. But if you've not rewired the foundation, you will end up in the same situation. That's why I lost my money 3 times. And the third time, 4 years ago, I rewired the foundation. I've radically transformed my family's life over the past 4 years because I became obsessed with understanding that it's the inside out, not the outside in. When you understand that it's all here and it's all here, that you've already been wealthy, that you've already been healthy, that it's already been received, ask and you shall receive, say to the mountain, move, it will move. To get in the kingdom of heaven is to be like this lowly child. In the end, you will find the beginning. In the beginning, you will find the end. Those who have ears to hear will hear. Those who have eyes to see will see. You're looking for the end and the beginning is right here. You're looking for the answer when it's already been given. And when you start to understand that, you'll raise up to a 30,000-foot overview and you'll see that you're already a king. You're already a queen. Warriors, rise, get your shit together. Love you guys.